This is for anybody who really wants to know how to avoid their INFJ burnout. If they are just curious about how to avoid this INFJ burnout, I am going to upload a video as well about how to help your INFJ friend go through burnout as well. So let's get started with how to avoid your INFJ burnout. Yes, that was super cheesy, but I loved it. Didn't you? I've already done videos about what exactly INFJ burnout is and also how to work through INFJ burnout if you have reached that point. I will link them up in the video here or in the description below. But today I really want to focus on how to avoid INFJ burnout, just because it's not something that you always have to go through, at least very frequently. You can definitely do things to put it off and not have to go through it every day, every week, every month, however frequent it is for you. You can definitely space that out a lot more. And I didn't know this when I was first starting out as an INFJ. First of all, I didn't even know what INFJ burnout was. And then I also did not know how to work through it. I didn't know anything related to it. So I really, really hope that this helps somebody somewhere. And if it does help you, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know. And if you are new here, or if you are returning and you haven't yet subscribed, please click that little subscribe button. And while you're down there, give me a thumbs up if you do like this video, or if you find it helpful, or if you just support what I am doing. So number one, be conscious of the negative emotions that you are absorbing every single day. Because of the fact that you are an emotional sponge, you can walk through a crowd and literally pick up every single person's emotion that you pass. And it's crazy to think about sometimes, but it's also very, very true. And it's even harder to go through if you're actually feeling it. So believe me, I am there with you. It is a struggle, and that is why I do not go to concerts anymore. I don't really go to festivals unless the people I'm going to be with, the friends that I'm around, are actually people that I enjoy being around, and they give me energy instead of you know what I mean. So again, be conscious of the negative emotions that you are absorbing, because at the end of the day, you really do need to know what is yours and what is not yours, because what is not yours, you can just throw that all away. And then you can sift through what is actually on this lovely platter that is the depth of the INFJ mind and heart and inner workings, palace. You know exactly what I mean if you are an INFJ. So going on with that, make sure that at the end of the day, you are taking the time to decompress from all of the emotions that you've had that day. If you're anything like me, being an INFJ is a roller coaster. It is not necessarily something that is super easy. I wouldn't really wish it on anybody, but we are here. We are definitely not going anywhere. So make sure that you are decompressing from everything that you've gone through. And again, sift through those emotions on what's yours and what's not yours, because that's going to make decompressing so much easier. So much easier. And there's a bunch of different ways that you can do this to sift through what's yours and what's not yours. If you are interested in that content, please leave me a comment and I will put that on my list to make. As of right now, it's not really up there. I do have 100 other things that I actually do want to talk about on this channel. Literally 100. I think we're at 101. So let me know in the comments and I will bump that up. So then also, this is something that I preach over and over and over and over and over again. It is only because it is so important in everybody's lives, not just INFJs. If you're not an INFJ and you are watching this, please do this in your life too, because everybody deserves this in their lives. Do at least one thing, just one thing, every day that makes you happy. That doesn't make anybody else happy but you. It could make other people happy if it is making you happy at the same time, but it can't be for them, it has to be for you. And the reason that I say this is because INFJs are so prone to getting lost in what everybody else wants and what we're trying to give everybody else that we do not take into account ourselves. Granted, sometimes we are learning about ourselves or we are just learning information, and that could be a part of what makes you happy every day. But at the same time, do something that's more tangible. So if you are learning, let's continue on with that one. If you are learning something every day and that's what you're doing for you specifically, write it down, document it, journal something out for yourself. That way you know, like, you've actually made progress by doing that. And the same thing, my thing is actually coffee every day. I have coffee every day, whether or not I'm actually like in the mood for coffee, because of the fact that I know when I have coffee around me, it makes me so much happier. I have trained myself to be happy with coffee. I've worked in countless coffee shops, probably, not a great thing compared to the reason. I mean, I had about more than 12 shots of espresso every day for a while. Not healthy. But so I have trained myself to absolutely love coffee, and although I do not have as much as I used to when I worked at coffee shops, I definitely still do try to have 1 cup of coffee every single day. So again, do something that makes only you happy, or that is for you to make you happy every single day. You can also do this twice a day. You can do 1 in the morning and 1 at night. It's really up to you. I do recommend trying to do at least 2, but start off with 1 if you're not doing any right now. And if you're at 1, do 2. Just work your way up. Because again, this is going to nourish the side of you that you often neglect, which is, fancy that, yourself. So really do try to work that in any way possible. So the next one that we have is appeal to your other senses. So INFJs are characteristic for being up in our minds so much that, I mean, I've made videos about this before, but I literally have a mind palace. And yes, that is a reference to the Sherlock Holmes series on Netflix, or whatever actually started that one. But either way, it's for Sherlock Holmes, because that literally is, it's a great picture. It gives you a great image of what that really is, and it's an easier way to explain what INFJs are really doing in their minds. For me, I build cities for the events in my life, for the people in my life, for literally anything. I don't really know how else to explain that, but I tend to build cities, and the more that I know about a person, the more I build that city. And then it will either end up looking really good or it'll look really bad. It just depends on the whole relationship. So let's put that tangent aside and continue on. Appeal to your other senses. So you are characteristic for staying up in your mind 24/7, probably even more than that, because time is relative. So try relaxing by, lighting some candles, smelling something that smells really good, taking a bath, eating some really good food. Really recommend that one. Eating some really good food, listening to music. Although this one, I will say, I am not a huge fan of doing when I'm trying to relax, just because of the fact that music often brings up like a lot of emotions for me. And after I've already spent like 30 minutes sifting through not only my own emotions, but other people's emotions as well that I've picked up along the way. So I've gone from my emotions, their emotions, just to my emotions, sifted through that, and now I'm trying to relax. So I don't really want to be based in my emotions again. I hope that makes sense. But try to taste, touch, smell, hear, do something, anything else that is going to get you out of your head. So yeah, there's that. So next we have be productive. One of the characteristics about all INFJs, no matter if you're doing this or not at the time that you watch this video, or even if you knew this about yourself, or even if you're not at that point yet, there are so many different caveats for this one. But anyways, so clean your space, because of the fact that your mind is in chaos a lot of the day. And chaos may not exactly be the right word for you, but I know for me it kind of is, because when my brain has one thought, just this one little thought, it literally like blows up super, super fast. So it can become easily chaotic. And having chaos in your environment as well is really not good for your own brain to sift through as well. So I would really, really recommend making sure that your space is clean, tidy, and at least if you don't do it every day, try to do it at least every other day, or whenever you remember to do it. Just try to be proactive about it and it'll help you be productive. So next we have having a creative outlet. And I've said this in some of my videos before, especially my early on videos, that I fully believe that whatever it is, whatever way you need to get out what is going on, not only in your head, but in your feelings, in your body, that is going to be the best thing for you. So whether or not this is journaling, a lot of INFJs are great writers. So you could journal, you could paint, you could draw, you could color. I like to color with crayons in my mindfulness book. You can do yoga, you can work out. That's still creative because you have to come up with your own stuff and what you want for that. I at least think it's creative. That's just me. But there are so many different ways that you can be creative. You can even start making YouTube videos. And if that's something that you want to do, by all means, please do, because there is not enough of us that are really speaking out for ourselves and like for the betterment of other INFJs. That's a whole different tangent. I'm not even going to get onto that. But main point, have a creative outlet that you can really delve into and lose yourself in. And again, this can also be, learning something that you're passionate about. And I still would really recommend documenting it. But again, that is up to you. So then we also have, imagine what type of INFJ you are at your peak. And what I mean by that is if you are sitting in your mind and you are going through all these different scenarios, and let's say you're overthinking, or at the end of the day, there's so much stuff going on and you don't feel like yourself anymore. The best thing for you to do in order for you to be able to move forward from all of that overthinking, from all of that self-doubt, from whatever it is that is holding you back, just close your eyes, picture yourself and what you're doing when you actually are doing what you love. So figure out what that is, what it's going to take for you to get there, and really just when you can start that. Because for the longest time, I wanted to be an INFJ YouTuber. I wanted to be a YouTuber, and I wanted to get my message across to help at least one person every day, or technically with every video, but so I really, really, really wanted to do this for so long. I didn't really tell anybody about it. I didn't even tell myself it for the longest time. I had a thought about it and then I just kind of brushed it off because I thought, who's going to want to listen to me at whatever age I'm going to start this? And why is my information more important than anybody else's? Which, on the grand scheme of things, it's not any more important than anybody else, but it does actually help me sift through my own stuff as I'm doing this. And then I get to live what I want to live through this as well. It's a win-win situation. It's really going to help you so much more. So back to that. Imagine what type of INFJ you are at your peak, because your visualization, your projection of yourself, a lot of the times we tend to project ourselves negatively, or we tend to visualize ourselves negatively, like in a burned out state. Stop all of that. It's really a choice. It is just something that you choose to do. So stop your brain in that pattern. Create a new pattern for yourself. Visualize what you want to do. Visualize the first step. You can do research if you want to, if it's something that you need to research. But visualize the first step or the next step, whatever it is, and it is going to help you get out of the negativity that you have to be in burnout. If you are working on things that you're passionate about, if you are working on the things that you love, the things that really give you satisfaction and fulfillment, you will feel like literally the best version of yourself. And that is a feat in and of itself. It is not really easy. It's simple. It's not always easy. So again, I am actually doing that right now as I'm talking to you, and it is fantastic. I couldn't be happier with it, and I am so, so grateful that I get to. If you found any of these things helpful, if you already try them, whatever it is, and if you support me, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet already, and I will see you in the next video.